Hello everyone, this is Ahmed GHL Boy. I recently created a video on how to track inactive clients inside GoHighLevel, and I discussed the case scenario, and that was I was able to track the clients who have not responded to any of your communication channel like email or SMS or WhatsApp in the last 30 days. So I was able to track those clients who have not responded as in the last 30 days. And then I got a comment on my that video from one of my follower requesting to create a video on how we can track the clients who have not scheduled the appointments in the last 30 days. So today's video, we are going to cover and see how we can set this up. So let's just dive into it and see how we can configure this automation.
The Go High Level boy, Ahmed.
Ahmed at the GHL boy.
GHL boy, Ahmed.
Rashid.
Thank you, Ahmed, and thank you to the rest of your team.
So here I am inside a GoHighLevel sub account. How we are going to set this up, we will be needing two workflows for this. So first of all, let's create a folder specifically for this workflow. So I'm gonna name it as not booked in the last 30 days. Okay, let's just go into that. Okay, so as I mentioned earlier, we are going to create two workflows for this. So first of all, I will be creating the second workflow, and then I will create the workflow number one. So we are going to do the reverse building. I will name it as not booked in last 30 days or two. There we go. And in this workflow, what we need is we just need a wait for 30 days. That's simple, pretty straightforward. And in the case, if you want to track the clients who have not booked with you in the last 60 days, then you will just adjust this wait to 60 days. So now this is where you can actually track that period. So I have just put the wait for 30 days. So I will name it as wait 30 days. There we go. I'm going to publish this workflow. And now I will have to create the first workflow. So I'm going to duplicate this so that I can name it quickly. There we go. Now I can go in and make the adjustment. So we don't need a wait step here. So on the top, we need a trigger. So this is going to be the part one. So the trigger is going to be appointment status. And the main thing, this is important, just make sure that we have a filter for this. And now if you want to track the clients who has not booked in any of your calendar across this sub account, then you don't add any other filter because now this will get triggered for all the calendars. But if you want to track the people who have not scheduled on any of your specific calendar, then in that case you will apply this filter as well in a calendar. So now in that case, the clients who have not scheduled any appointment on specifically this calendar will get tracked. So for example, in our use case, I want to track the clients who have not scheduled on any of our calendar. So in that case, I will just remove that filter and then I will just keep this appointment status filter. That would be our trigger. And then the first thing that we are going to do is remove from workflow. And this is going to be an other workflow, which would be part two. This one. And I will explain why we are adding this in a second. So, but first action is going to be, we are going to remove it from that workflow. And then here, we are going to add it again to the same workflow. So let's call it part one, part two. There we go. Just make sure you publish it. So let me make it publish. So now I'm going to explain what we have done so far. So what's going to happen is as soon as somebody schedules an appointment, it will be added to this workflow. As soon as it will get added, it will be removed from that workflow. So for example, example number one or use case number one is they are just scheduling it in the first time. So in this case, they will not be added into that second workflow. So it does, like this action is going to skip. But in the next step, we are adding it to the part two workflow. So it will get added into the part two workflow. And then it will stay active there for the next 30 days. So, and that's our example number one. The example number two is, for example, if somebody scheduled a call with you on 1st of January, okay, so they will be added to that workflow. And then after 5 days, okay, they scheduled it again. So in that case, what's going to happen is they will be removed from that workflow on the 5th of January, and then they are going to be added again to that workflow. And now the 30 days will be start from 5th of January to the next. So now what we need to track is as soon as appointments get scheduled, it will be get added to that workflow, and then it will keep waiting in that second workflow because we have a wait of 30 minutes there. So it will keep waiting in that workflow for the next 30 days. So now how we are going to actually track those clients. So what we have to do is now we just need to track those clients who are not active in the second workflow. So that means if somebody is active in the second workflow, that means they have scheduled it in the within the last 30 days, because the client will be active in that workflow for the next 30 days. So if somebody is actually active in the part two workflow, that means they have scheduled the appointment with us in the last 30 days. And then what we can do here, we can go to contacts, apply the filter, workflow active. So here we will actually do is not part two, not booked in the last. So now we are going to create a smart list for the clients who are not active in the part two workflow. So all the contacts which are not active in the part two workflow, that means they have not scheduled an appointment with us in the last 30 days. And this was our goal. We want to track the clients who have not scheduled an appointment with us in the last 30 days. So everybody who is not active in the part two workflow, they have basically not scheduled us an appointment with us in the last 30 days. So I will just apply this and then save a smart list, and then I'm gonna name it as not booked in the last 30 days. And now when we go to this, for example, you see here all these clients, they have not booked with us in the last 30 days. And now, for example, let me see which is the calendar that was okay. So actually we did not select any calendar. So what I'm gonna do is uh, if you see here, this is, for example, first that is test@gmail.com. Right now they have not booked with us within the last 30 days. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to open up this contact and I'm actually going to schedule the appointment for this contact. Okay, it doesn't matter what calendar we select, everything looks good. Calendar, because we have it for all the calendars. So now, as this contact has scheduled an appointment with us, so it should get removed from this workflow because they have just scheduled an appointment with us. So let's see, it's gonna take a while to get added this workflow into the part two workflow. So let's see. We'll just have to wait for a second so that it's get added to the part two workflow. Let me see, go to opportunities, go back to contacts. And if we go to not booked, let me see, open up this contact, automation, not booked. Okay, so this is active in there. Now it should get removed from this. Let me see if we have applied the correct filter. Workflow active is not booked part two workflow. Okay, I think there is a glitch on the back end that this smart list is not working. So, but we have a different way to do this as well. So let me just show you that. So when we go to automation and we go to our workflow. In the part 2 workflow, what we can do is we can get some help from the tag. So here I would like to add a tag. Okay, add tag, and I can create a tag that says booked within 30 days. Okay, you can create any tag that you want. So let's see, booked within 30 days. So I'm going to add this tag. So, and then after 30 days, I'm going to remove the tag. Remove contact tag and booked within 30 days. So now what's going to happen is every time somebody schedule an appointment, it will get added into part 1 workflow. And then from the part 1 workflow, it's going to be added into this workflow. And then first of all, a tag will be added. And then after 30 days, that tag is going to be removed. So that means if somebody has a tag of this one, that means they have scheduled the appointment with us in the last 30 days. And then if you want to send out the SMS or emails or any communication to the clients who have not scheduled the appointment with you in the last 30 days, you can actually start building those SMS and emails right from here. So what will happen is as soon as somebody has scheduled the appointment on the part 1 workflow, we have it will be removed from this workflow, and then it's going to be added again into this workflow. And then after 30 days, from their booking date, it's going to moving forward. Now the SMS and emails will be sent to them because it's been more than 30 days that they have scheduled the appointment with you. And then, for example, they are they have received your first SMS or the second email, and then after that they have scheduled the appointment. Then we don't want these to get continued. So in that case, what's going to happen is as soon as they will schedule the appointment, then they will be removed from this workflow automatically because we have set this up in the part 1 workflow. And now what we can do is we can go to context, and then we can create a smart list based on the tag. So if we say tag is not booked, so if a person has a tag, that means they have scheduled. So if a person does not have a tag, that means they have not scheduled an appointment with us. So that's why we will apply the filter. Tag is not this one, and then apply it, and then you can save this as a smart list, not booked, or whatever you're gonna call it. And now all the clients who does not have that tag will show up here. That means they have not scheduled the appointment with us. So this was the complete video on how you can track the clients who have not scheduled the appointment with you in the last 30 days. So I hope you will like this video. If you do, please do subscribe. If you have not subscribed to my YouTube channel, please do subscribe and press the bell icon so that you can get all the new updates from me. We'll see you in the next video. Thank you.
The Go High Level boy, Ahmad.
Ahmed at the GHL boy.
GHL boy,
Thank you, Ahmed, and thank you to the rest of your team.